This is an extract from our AHK Hero Club. We have calls 3 times a week. Please like the video if you learned something. That reminds me of the Field of Dreams. Remember what one of the guys, when he walked out into the corn, did that, like, anyway. All right. Has anyone got anything to work on? Ryan, actually, he's here by my request because he created a new intercom. That's how I think of it. You want to start with that, Ryan? Explain what you did? Which there's so many more applications, right, to what you did. We know that. You and I know that. We've been playing with it, but
Sure.
This is modification of Handy.
yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm excited to hear about it.
Yeah, hi Connie. Let me share my screen real quick and I'll just kind of now I did promise those of you who came on the Saturday call that I will share this with you. I will share this with you. I've just been debugging a few things with Joe, and also I want to give it to you in a way that doesn't take 3.5 hours to install. So just tidying a few things up. So let's just share the screen real quick if I can. All right. So hopefully you can see my screen in a second.
There we go.
All right, forgive all the things on the desktop here. All right, so those of you who didn't join on Saturday, we're working through enhancing Handy. Handy is this voice recognition tool, okay? And last week, I think we talked about having a trigger word, so you can say a word, and if you say that word, then rather than transcribe what you say and pass it as a parameter somewhere, I've made it better. So now you can have any number of hotkeys and it will pass that string as a parameter to that tool. So let me kind of decode that a different way. So I'll give you a simple example first that I set up, which isn't the one I tested with Joe, but from time to time I need to review websites, and you can imagine context switching, like moving from the like Word or Notepad or something back to the website, backwards and forwards takes forever. So I've created a little hotkey here that when I hit a particular button, it writes, or Handy listens, it transcribes what I'm saying and it puts it in a text file. So you might think, well, why does that matter? Well, what it means is I can literally just do what I'm doing. So use the website, make some comments, blah, blah, blah. And I literally just push my record button and it's recording and it's saving it somewhere else for later. So the use case that I have is I need to say do some functional testing on a tool that I've written, and I don't want to have to waste time taking notes manually, with the keyboard. So I just speak the notes and it's saving it with a date stamp in in my folder. So this is this one here, silent writer. I'll show you it very quickly here so you can see it. So I just call it the silent writer. So this is, I've compiled it to an exe, but it is an AutoHotkey script. I'll just open it in Notepad just because. Okay, so all it's doing, those of you who know AHK1, obviously everyone does, it's still writing that largely, but basically it's just writing a sequential file to an output, and it's just writing a date stamp as well. And then every time I'm hitting the key, the hotkey in Handy, it calls this function, listens to what I've said, and then writes it to this file with a date stamp. And that's a nice way I can do a diary in a hands-free way. Okay, so that was the first thing that I did. And then the next thing I did was I thought, well, actually, I, like many of you, use Telegram quite a lot, and I found that there was a library in Telegram that allows you to push messages directly to Telegram. So those of you who've done a lot of this probably know you can do that, but often it's via a bot. So you need to have a bot and you need the other person to be subscribed to that bot, I think. What this does is this allows me now to send, so I've hooked it up with Joe. So if I want to talk to Joe, I can push a button, my Handy button. Handy listens to my voice and then pushes it to my conversation with Joe in Telegram. Now, the important thing is I don't need Telegram to be the active window. It does it programmatically. So I literally just push the message to Joe's Telegram without me having to switch to Telegram, type in Telegram, click in the focus window in Telegram, none of that. So I can literally be watching a YouTube video or typing or coding, and I literally just push a button, and it will do that. So that's, and again, I'm really happy. I'll give you this code. It's not too difficult to follow, but I'll just tidy up the README first. And then I took it a step further, and I thought, well, that's all very good, and I like the ability to do it hands-free. But then I thought, well, hold on. I wonder if this Telegram, if this library, I think it's called Telethon. So Telethon is the tool. I wonder if Telethon can actually listen to Telegram and tell me when Joe says something. And in fact, it can. So there's an example here where this is in Python, so forgive me if you don't know Python, but basically what it's doing is your Telegram client has a unique ID, and then you have a unique hash or password, you can think of it, and then you have a target user. So for example, at Joe Glines, right? And what this tool does, what this little script does, is it listens to my Telegram, okay? And anytime Joe sends me a message, it speaks the message to me. Now, Joe hates the idea. I could see some value in it in some ways, because because obviously it will interrupt what I'm doing, because it'll just suddenly, Joe's sent me a message and it will speak the message. But it means that I can not be looking at Telegram, not focused on the window, have it minimized, and I can effectively, with those two things, with being able to hear what Joe's saying, and by being able to push a button to speak to Joe, I don't need to be thinking about Telegram whatsoever, because the voice is translated to text outbound, and the text is translated to voice inbound.
Is that running right now, Ryan?
What's that? Yeah, okay. So
can you you got to go first to share your audio also. Otherwise,
okay, let's do that real quick. So let's do that. Audio, you can tell me how to do that. How do I do that?
It's under the share. There's the share menu. You know, when you go into the share menu, then you can find it under.
Oh, you bet. All right, share settings. Yeah. Do I have audio?
Well, no, I think you're looking. Zoom is confusing in this one. It's not the normal toolbar. There's a share toolbar.
Oh, is it? Okay.
No, it says share on the main toolbar. That's what I hate about it, right? But there's a different toolbar where there's another share where the share is for the specific thing you're sharing, and then you can share the audio.
Oh, really? Okay. Hold on a second. We can tell we haven't practiced this, guys.
Our sales pitch will be next time, Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not trying to sell it. I'll just give it to you.
Yeah.
Where is that, Joe?
Well, like I say, it's on the other thin toolbar, not bound to a given window. It's independent.
Oh, I've got that here. What folder is it? Is it something audio settings? Is that where it is? No.
I think it's under share.
Okay.
Share.
There's a share thing here. Share settings. Blah 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 blah. Advanced.
But the toolbar you're looking at, it's not connected to a window. Oh, okay, good.
What are we doing? Microphone, input volume, microphone.
Is the toolbar you're looking at connected to a window?
No, that's the floating one.
Okay, all right, then you're on the right one. Yeah. Irfan, do you
do you see it here? No.
Well, I can't see your toolbar.
Oh, you can't see. Okay.
Which is ironic, because that was the other topic that I was talking about earlier.
Oh, we should do that the other way around then. All right. Sure. You think it'll work?
No, we won't hear it.
Oh, you won't? Okay.
Zoom's really good about hiding the system.
All right. Well, what we'll do maybe is we'll come back to this a bit later when I've tweaked the settings so I can do that. I'll do some research in a minute. Just to quickly finish off this, and we'll do a test a little bit later on. Also, with this Telethon client, those of you interested in automating Telegram, you can also do a listener. I've shown you the listener. You can also check the list of conversations, so you could target particular people. Another idea would be you could just you could ask it to announce what your last messages were, or queue them up, or if you're doing a do not disturb, or you could poll the messages. So don't interrupt me at all, but if my wife or my husband or whatever needs to contact me, then release that message. there's all sorts of things you could do, because remember, with this Telethon client and with this handy tool, we're able to intercept the messages, interpret the messages, and then do something with them. So that's where it starts to get quite exciting with the potential for these tools, because we're able to mode change. And the wonderful thing about voice, of course, is we don't need to change what we're doing with the keyboard, and we can carry on what we're doing, but we've got a secondary input method that it can listen. And I mean, the ultimate thing here will be when Joe speaks to me, I get the message, obviously, and it's using the Windows transcriber at the moment, but I could use ElevenLabs and have Joe speak to me in Joe's voice if I really wanted to, which would be very surreal. But we're starting to connect the dots here and be able to do some intelligent routing with voice. So this is written in Python, but I'll wrap this up and send it to you. There's nothing you would need to do to install this really, other than add the credentials, which Joe and I did yesterday.
Yeah, that was I think the trickiest part was getting the token and whatever.
Yeah.
It was a little
Yeah. Why don't we pause there with this, Joe? I'll figure out how to change the audio settings rather than hold it right now.
It's not
loop back in
I
a
think
bit.
they understand,
Yeah, okay.
that you would hear it out loud, which I mentioned to you, like I don't like when my computer suddenly talks to me and I'm not expecting it to. So
Yeah, right.
if we were having a conversation, I would love it. If I was already working with you, then great.
Yeah.
But out of the blue, I don't think I would like that.
Well, and that's another thing you could do, of course. You could toggle it on and off. So for me, before, I was having a conversation with Joe, but I was doing other things. And I was actually literally probably having a conversation with you, right? Because
let's say if it was the last message for me within the last minute, then let it just speak it, right? Like that'd be great. I'd be all over that. Yeah.
And also, it was hands-free because I was wandering around the room, not at my desk, and I could still hear. I could A, hear what Joe was saying, and B, I didn't need to sit at my desk to receive it. So that was helpful as well. So when you actually start to unpack this idea, there's quite a lot of value you can get from it.
Oh, I think once also because you and I were talking through the ability of, assigning different hotkeys for different people or whatever. But also, I know, like, I don't think you've even brought it up yet, but you were working on the ability to parse what gets passed and treat it differently. So you could have different scripts running based on, it watches what you say and actually does a different action based on what you say, right? That was one of the exciting things from last week we talked about, which I think is great.
Yes. The way I would think of that conceptually for everyone is you could basically think of it just like Google or Alexa, because you'll be able to use Handy to parse string, like parse a voice, which then parses it into text, which then can interpret that text and effectively run a command, whether it be what's 5 times 4 or what's launch Chrome or something. I think I showed that last week. So I'm still playing around with this, but lots of potential to do a lot of automation with voice. And also now we've seen the ability with this Telegram library called Telethon, the ability to control that. It's the sort of thing you've got to have a bit of a play with to really see the value in it, I think. But when you do, you go, the penny drops and you can see value.
Members get unlimited access to 466 plus hours of video lessons packed with AHK insights to binge learn whenever inspiration hits. Get insider savings, 25% off courses, scripts, and done-for-you AHK jobs, making premium tools affordable and accessible.